You're mine, mine.
You are now tuned into Philly's Morning Joe with your host, Joe Castro. Now, you might not like us, but we know you love us. So grab your cup and get ready to talk some Eagles. Go Birds.
You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Can everybody hear me good? I want to make sure everybody can hear me good before I keep going. Because the Eagles got some things to talk about. We got some things to talk about. Let me just make sure everything working right. I see everybody already in the chat. We already got 20 people between all the channels. So yeah, we sounded good. We ready to go. It is your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is another episode of Philly Morning Joe. Today we're gonna have a special guest on a little bit later, so I'm excited about that. But man, we got some things to talk about. The Eagles. Look, it was ugly. I'm gonna be real with you. It was ugly. We scrapped. I mean, when you lose a guy like AJ Brown, it shows, right? I mean, at the end of the day, he's one of our better players, if not our best offensive players. So he's amazing. It showed that we didn't have him. It sucked that we didn't have him. Losing a guy like Britton Covey in the second half sucks too. I feel like he was starting to make his name, really starting to show what he can do. Obviously losing Devontae Smith, especially the way that you lost Devontae Smith, is just, it's disgusting. I'm going to be real with you. That hit was unnecessary. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it was intentional, but the spit afterwards was definitely intentional. So I'm not liking what I saw from a lot of these refs yesterday. The Chiefs got handed another victory, so good for them, I guess. The refs are pissing me off, but it is what it is. We walked out with a win. I think Jalen Hurts and we're going to talk about Jalen Hurts today. Jalen Hurts is probably going to be the main topic today. I'm going to be 100% honest with you, because at some point you have to have the conversation. And I'm not saying that he's trash. I'm not saying go trade him. I'm not saying, this is the end of Jalen Hurts, go draft. I'm not saying any of that. But there has to be a conversation that we won this game. Don't get me wrong. We could have easily lost this game, and it would have been on Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody says. Jalen Hurts needs to protect that ball. He needs to. He's doing a lot of things well. I think he's fourth in the NFL right now as far as passing goes. He's got a very, very good completion percentage. I think he's around 70%. I mean, if you look at his numbers and you take away the turnovers, right? If you take away the turnovers, he has been playing very well and playing above what I think a lot of people expected. But you just can't take away the turnovers. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. So we have to be honest with that. And at the end of the day, I think that he'll get better. I think that he'll continue to learn from his mistakes. Not having AJ Brown, not having, Devontae Smith towards the end, not having, Britton Covey towards the end, and still being able to go out there and ball out. I think that says a lot. He didn't have a turnover once he got past that fumble, it was over, right? Once he got past that fumble, I feel like he didn't, make any mistakes, but those mistakes happened, all right? Those mistakes happened, and I'm not just going to ignore them. I see a lot of people on Twitter, on, whatever social media you want to go on, and they're telling me, oh, we won, so who cares? I care. Personally, I care. I don't want to go out there and be biting my fingernails every single time that Jalen Hurts has the ball or every single time he throws the ball. So again, I'm not saying he's trash. I'm not saying it's time to give up on Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is he needs to clean it up, and this has to be on the forefront of a lot of people's minds. We can't continue to do well, we won. Okay, whatever. Next week, just get better. No, we can't keep doing that. This has been 3 weeks in a row that Jalen Hurts has been very, very careless with the football. This week, again, another game where it started off rough for Jalen Hurts, and then he kind of came back and had a good game. So I understand. I understand why people are just kind of like, well, we won the game, but at the same time, it has to clean up. I love Jalen Hurts. Y'all know that I used to really be hard on Jalen Hurts. Pause. I used to really, I was very, very critical of Jalen Hurts. I think that he's been a lot better, a lot better. So I'm not going to be critical as much of him. But again, you need to step it up. I think Unspoken Word said it best. You need to stop the BS. Same thing with Sirianni. Sirianni is definitely at blame here too. And it's not even this in the sense of Sirianni is calling bad plays. He just needs to pick who he is. Pick who he is. Shout out to everybody already in the chat, man. We got parlaying with PJ in the building. Josh, I'm gonna need some parlays, bro. I've been on an ugly losing streak. 41-33. What's going on, brother? What's going on, Smitty? Eagles has landed, says fly. Eagles fly. Went to the Superdome and got that dub, and that's all that matters. That is all that matters. And I said this the other day, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Once we get back to winning, okay, winning is all that matters, and I feel that. I don't want to lose, but we got to be better, and I think we can be better. That's what frustrates me the most. That's what frustrates me the most, is that I know we can be better. I know that we can, lean on this run game heavily, and I just don't feel like we're doing that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Nick Sirianni, if it's Kellen Moore. The common denominator is Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman. I've said this before. People don't want to listen to me when I say this. And this is one of the big reasons why I didn't feel Jalen Hurts would fit this team. Now I bite my tongue. It is what it is. But this is one of the reasons why I didn't think Jalen Hurts would fit our system, because we want to be a heavy passing team. That's it. I mean, we want to be that. Jeffrey Lurie has said that. Howie Roseman has said that. We've had numerous reporters on this show. I mean, from Dave Spadaro to Bo Wolf to Zach Berman to Fran Duffy. We've had them all on here, and they've all said the same thing. They want to be a pass first team. That's how you win in the league. This year, it looks like Jalen Hurts is doing that way more, but when you got a guy like Saquon, sometimes just lean on him and let him do his thing. I mean, it is what it is. Shout out to Curl Green. We're going to get you a moderator. But we won. Okay, to the next game. See, I can't do that. I cannot do that. I understand. And don't get me wrong. And I'm happy that we won. If we would have lost, I would have been devastated. I'm going to be real with you. I would have been so upset. And they're a good team. Don't get me wrong. But when your defense goes out there and plays like they did, it would have just killed me if we lost that game. Because I still feel like the defense is a question mark. They went out there and balled out. But I mean, you could say the same thing about them. I don't feel like they really leaned on Alvin Kamara as much as they should have. I would have to look at the numbers, but I feel like, they could have probably gashed us with running a little bit more. But Jalen Carter was playing outside of his mind. Jordan Davis had some really big plays. Zach Bond continues to be in the right position. So, I mean, it's getting interesting. It's getting very, very interesting. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got over, let's see. We got 30 on the Twitter side. We got 18 on the YouTube side. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. If you're on the Twitter side, come on over to the YouTube side. I promise you, we do not bite. I promise. But Curl, I just can't do that. I can't do that. The dude that hit him is the same one that spit on him. Yeah, Peyton Turner, right? Peyton Turner. Isn't he a rookie, or is he in his second year? I believe he's a rookie, right? I mean, the dude's a dog. So for him to do stuff like that is just senseless. I understand you might be a little bit upset, but that was just senseless. That was just senseless. Let me look at the numbers real quick. Again, we did what we were supposed to do. So I'm not saying, the Saints gave us a game. I'm definitely not saying that. But I will say, there was definitely things that I thought they maybe should have done a little bit more. Let me just double check. How about them Cowboys? Every time I slide by that score, I'm just so happy. 26 times. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, we just shut them down. Shut them down. Shut them down. Yeah, we just shut down that run game. 26 attempts for 87 yards. I mean, 27 for 86 yards if you want to count Jamal Williams' one run. So, I mean, yeah, I'll shut up. We just kind of roasted their run game. They couldn't really do much. They really couldn't do much. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's see who we got in here, man. Let's give some shout outs real quick. Unspoken Word says dirty plays. All of them were intentional. I wouldn't be surprised, man. They was upset. They was upset, especially when you, and I said this last week, and everybody thought I was being facetious. Everybody thought I was, oh, Joe, just here he goes. I said we were going to beat the Saints. I said that the Falcons did the same thing. The Falcons were on the bottom of the totem pole, felt like the earth was caving in, and then as soon as they beat us, they were on top of the world. It's a week-by-week situation, man. You look at the NFL across the league, it has been a weird year. It has been a very weird year. Malik Willis, I think, is 2-0 right now. Sam Darnold's the only quarterback in the NFL to throw multiple touchdowns in every single game, and I don't believe he's lost. So it's like, you know, this is a weird year. This is a very weird year. Jalen Hurts needs to stop the BS. I read that. Can we fire Nick? Take the 3, you goofy clown. All right. This is how I feel. Shout out to EC1 football. This is how I feel. If you're going to be aggressive, be aggressive. Be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Just be aggressive. If that's who you're going to be that. Do that every single time. If you are going to be aggressive, be aggressive. Just pick who you are. Because I feel like there's a lot of times where you see Jalen Hurts and them ready to go for it, and Nick Sirianni just doesn't feel the vibe. I will say Nick Sirianni, in my opinion, was way more of who he wants to be in this game than he has been in any other game this year. I truly do feel that. I feel like this game was closer to 2020 than any of his years, where 2020, whenever his first year was. I'm blanking on the exact year. I think it was 2020 that we made the Super Bowl. But either way, this is who you are. This is who you're going to be. And that's all I feel about Nick Sirianni. I'm okay with you being aggressive. I'm okay with you being idiotically aggressive sometimes. I'm okay with that. I really am. But you have to continuously be that. You can't just pick and choose when you're going to be that guy. Be that guy or don't be that guy. We're either going to be the safe team, or you're either going to be Tomlin or you're going to be Dan Campbell. You can't be in between. You got to pick which one you're going to be. Pick which one you're going to be. And I'll be cool with it. I will accept it. I've said this before. I said this on Black Gritty's show. Shout out to my guy, Black Gritty. If you're watching, salute to my guy. Does some great content. I said this on his show Tuesday night, bruh. Pick who you're going to be and we're going to accept it. If you tell us you're going to be aggressive every single time, we're going to accept it. We might not love it. We might get mad when it doesn't work, but we're going to accept it. So pick who you're going to be and we'll accept it. That's it. That's where I'm at. Hurts got paid. He needs to go back to who he was because he lost a step. I don't know if I agree with that, JC. So cool. I think that he's trying to do too much with too little. I truly do believe that. And I'm not going to be one of those guys that nitpicks every play and says, well, if Smitty stepped 1 foot forward and this would have happened and that. At the end of the day, the interception goes to Jalen Hurts. There's no, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the year, they all look the same in the stats sheet. So it is what it is. He has to be smarter. He has to be smarter, especially in the red zone. You can't be giving up the ball. You just can't. Especially in the red zone. Him trying to get out of the pocket and the guy tapped the ball out of his hand. I want to be mad at him about that. Yes, be more protective with the ball when you see yourself, moving out of the pocket. That doesn't happen that very often. There's a lot of things that it's just, it is what it is. It is what it is right now, and I don't love it, but I don't think he lost a step. I think he's trying to do too much. And I'm not giving him no excuses. I really feel that's what it is. I feel like he's trying to do too much. I don't feel like he knows where all his receivers are just yet, but he's doing some really good things for this football team. To go with the game-winning drive, you look at that play to Dallas Goedert. He's the one that switched into that call after the motion, which motion has been saving our butt. But he's the one that switched into that call. So I think that there's areas of Jalen Hurts' game that's getting better. You know what I'm saying? And he can only get better. I truly do believe that. I appreciate that. You at work listening to me. I appreciate you, EC. One Gamer, what's going on, Linda? What's going on? I haven't seen you in Best of Enemies in a minute. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? I haven't been seeing you in Best of Enemies. It's good to see you though, Linda. What's going on? One game at a time, Castro. Ask yourself if we did better than than we did last week and prior. Offensively, no. But I mean, that's kind of, expected, right? But yeah, defensively, I mean, that was a shot in the arm. If we can play like that every week defensively, we're going to win a lot of games. And not only are we going to win a lot of games, we're probably going to win some games in the playoffs. And that's the most important thing, right? So I just want to see these guys get healthy. I've seen a lot of people asking about the injuries. What's going on, Dana Scott? What's going on, Dank Bird gang in the building? All Eagles fly. What's going on? Let's see who else we got in here before I get into the injury news. Keith Moody in the building. Yeah, I think I said everybody. So if I didn't, shout out to you as well. You see the title, and the title is for a reason. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles, we won the game, yeah, but then we lose in the process. Obviously, we didn't have A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown could be back this week. I'm thinking more probably after the Tampa game, which I think is a game we can definitely win, which we'll get more into that during the week. I'm going to have some really good guests on this week. Yeah, we lost A.J. Brown. That sucks. Devontae Smith, I have not heard anything about him. I know that they were looking to see if he had a concussion. He was moving around. He looked like he was, spry and attentive on the sideline. So that's a good sign. Hopefully, if he is in a concussion protocol, at the most you're missing 1 week. And that's hopefully, right? Obviously, if it's more severe, then more. But I'm hoping at the most he misses Tampa. I think that there's a shot. It might be a small shot, but I think that there's a shot that he plays against Tampa. Losing Brenton Covey, I think is huge. I think that people aren't talking about Brenton Covey. If you haven't seen, this is per Brandon Godwin. Brenton Covey broke a bone in his shoulder, and they're saying that he might miss up to 6 weeks or more. So I think that's huge. I think that is one of the biggest losses. I mean, obviously, Devontae Smith is a big loss. A.J. Brown is a big loss. But your special teams has been holding you down. I mean, realistically, special teams, you look at, what was it, week 1, week 2, where he had a 40-yard return. He's been big in the return situations. We're going to be looking at Cooper DeJean probably taking over, or DeJean, excuse me, taking over at the punt return situations. But that's also a wide receiver you lose, right? It guts me. It really does. I've been watching way too much London stuff, so I'm going to say guts me. But it kills me. It really does. It kills me to see a guy like him that's been, I feel like, finding his rhythm, finding out who he is, and then, you lose him. That just sucks, man. Hold on. I just want to make sure my computer don't die, because it says that it's dying. It says it's not charging. Hold on.